Welcome to Dania Accounting. My name is Anna. In this video, I will go through the information we need from you in order to incorporate a new Danish ApS. You need to decide on a company name. The company name should end with ApS, which is an abbreviation of Limited Liability Company in Danish. There is no rules in terms of the company name itself. You just need to make sure that it is not in use already. To make sure the name is not taken, you can check the business registry yourself. There is an English version of the website as well. The link to the business registry is the link that appears on your screen right now. Since you are looking for a company name, we recommend that you check if a website domain is currently using the preferred name, since that could indicate that someone else is already using it. We recommend our clients to use Una Euro, but you can of course use any domain service provider of your own choice. You will need a company address in Denmark in order to incorporate the ApS. If you do not have a company address already, then we have found 5 virtual office address companies that you can use. Just contact one or more of them and inquire about pricing. Say that you need a virtual office address for the company that can be used for the company registration. We have found 5 links that you can see on your screen right now. Some clients use their private address in Denmark as the company address. This is of course only relevant for residents of Denmark. And even though this is normally accepted by the Danish Business Authority, it is not officially allowed. So you might experience problems with this later. However, we seldom see any issues with this. We need to identify shareholders that own or control 25% or more of the company and the management of the company as well. This is because of the anti-money laundering legislation in the EU. In general, there is 4 different types of participants in a Danish limited liability company: non-resident individuals, resident individuals, non-resident companies, and resident companies. If a non-resident individual will own a 25% or larger shareholder stake in the ApS, or if a non-resident individual will manage the company, then we need the following information and ID from each non-resident shareholder and manager: name, address, TIN number, which is tax ID number, national ID number, scan of passport, and a utility bill or private bank statement stating the person's name and private address. If a resident individual of Denmark will own a 25% or larger shareholder stake in the ApS, or if a resident individual of Denmark will manage the company, then we need the following information and ID from each resident shareholder and manager: name, address, scan of passport, and a scan of yellow Danish health insurance card. If a non-resident company will own a 25% or larger shareholder stake in the ApS, then we need the following: a company extract from the local business authority, maximum 3 months old, articles of association and articles of incorporation, also known as the Memorandum of Incorporation, ownership log, ID on shareholders and management. Coming from another country, please note that all documents that state a shareholder or management's identity should be translated into English. If a resident company will own a 25% or larger shareholder stake in the ApS, then we need the following: a company extract from the Danish Business Authority, articles of association and articles of incorporation, also known as Memorandum of Incorporation, ownership log, and ID on shareholders. An ApS does not require a board of management. However, you can choose to have a board of management. If you want to have a board of management, then we need the names of all the members of the board of management. We recommend not having a board of management in small companies, since it will often be the same people in the board and in the management. An ApS can have one or more managing directors. A director does not have to be a resident of Denmark. We need the names of the directors. If the company will have more than one director, then we also need to know if one director can sign on behalf of the company, or if all the directors need to sign in conjunction. An ApS can have one or more owners. The owners can be either individuals or companies. We also call the owners as shareholders. The ApS is required to keep an ownership log of who owns the shares in the company. We need information from you regarding the amount of shares and names of the shareholders. We recommend that each share has a value of 1 Danish krone. That way, if the equity is 40,000 Danish krones, then there will be 40,000 shares to divide between the shareholders. We need to know the nominal value in Danish krone of the shares owned by each shareholder and how many shares the shareholder owns. If you are the sole shareholder in the company and the equity is 40,000 Danish krones, then you own nominal value of 40,000 Danish krones and 40,000 shares in the ApS. We need to know what day the company will start activities. It is important that you register the company from when you start having expenses or sales. We need to register the company for VAT if the annual revenue is expected to exceed 50,000 Danish krones. If your revenue is less than 50,000 Danish krones per year, then you can choose to wait registering for VAT. But then you will also lose the ability to claim VAT refunds. Almost all companies need to register for VAT. Only a few types of companies is not required to register for VAT. Mainly, it is the companies involved either in healthcare or education, since this can sell VAT-exempt services. Please ask us if you are not sure if VAT applies for your company. If you expect to have employees, then the company has to be registered to have employees. If you are the only person working in the company and if you do not require a salary from the beginning, then you do not have to register as an employer at first. We can always add the employer registration later. We need to register the company for import if you expect to import goods to Denmark from outside the EU. Once the company is registered for import, you will receive an economic operator's registration and identification number, which is used in the EU to identify you as an importer. During the import registration process, we need to consider how you want to pay import duties. Most companies choose to pay import duties using a credit scheme offered by the tax office. We will ask you about more details relating to this when it is relevant for the registration. We need to register the company for export if you expect to export goods from Denmark. Please note that if you're registered as an importer, then it makes good sense to register as an exporter also, in case you need to return goods, since this is considered export. We need a small description of what activities the company will be involved in. The description is public, so keep it short and precise. 1 or 2 lines is enough. It could be something like, the scope of the company activities is to provide consultant services. Based on your description, we will find a matching 6-digit activity code. You are also welcome to try and find your activity code using the link that appears on your screen. We need to know what general fiscal year the ApS will use. We recommend following the calendar year. The first fiscal year can be up to 18 months long. If the company, for example, starts on July 1st, 2020, then the first fiscal year can end on December 31st, 2021. It will save you the cost of an annual report for 2020 if you use the long fiscal year that lasts 18 months. Then you only need to submit the first annual report covering both years, 2020 and 2021. The minimum capital for incorporating an ApS is 40,000 Danish crowns. You can choose a higher equity if needed. After the company is registered, you can use the equity for paying company costs. Small companies in Denmark do not require audit if they do not exceed 2 out of these 3 limits during the fiscal year: 4 million Danish crowns in total assets, or 8 million Danish crowns in revenue, or 12 employees. Later on, the company will only need audit if 2 out of these 3 limits are exceeded during 2 concurrent fiscal years. Despite these rules, you can decide to be audited regardless. We do not recommend audit for small companies, since the cost for an audit is very high in Denmark. Typically in the range of 50,000 to 100,000 Danish crowns plus VAT per year. If you want audit, you need to inform us. In general, we always register a new ApS without audit. You need to make 2 payments prior to the incorporation. First, you need to make a payment to us for our services. Our fee is 3,000 Danish crowns plus VAT. You also need to transfer the equity to a lawyer's client's account. If the equity is 40,000 Danish crowns, then you need to transfer this amount. The lawyer is used to verify the presence of the equity. We have our own recommended lawyers that we use for the incorporating process. We will send the payment details of the lawyer to you once we start the process of incorporation. That was everything I wanted to share with you today. If you have any questions, then please don't hesitate to contact us. You can email us on info@daniaccounting.com, or you can call us on international code 45 70 27 27 13. Also, you can use our customer chat or the contact form on our website www.daniaccounting.com. Thank you for watching our video. We look forward to help you incorporating your new ApS.